All right. This is my second time doing this. I have to start all over, you would not believe. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. So, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. Hello, December. Isn't that cute? So I just had to put that on there because I think that is cute. All right. So here, this is the title of the. Oh, wait. Okay. So let me do the anywhere you want to look for My FX Buddies, just do a search for My FX Buddies. But the blog, the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And this is one you might want to visit because there's two reports that the link to the two reports, which are good, in my opinion, good, easy to read. Um, they'll be there. There's a bullet point, outline article, but I have the link, as always, for free, right? You don't even have to put in your email, and then it'll take you to the full report. Okay, so actually, though, before we get started, let me just do a little summary. Um, it's been it's been quiet on the economic article front, which is why I haven't recorded or updated. But it's been busy as far as kablooies. I don't know if you know, but maybe within 48 hours after the ceasefire, it was violated. That's the terminology they use. Well, that's the terminology they're using because they're not officially saying the ceasefire is over, but it was violated on both sides, and they were going back and forth with light strikes. But there's been lots of talks, like the foreign minister for Iran is in Iraq today. Um, uh, some of the other countries, it's slipping my mind, but the Gulf region are saying, we gotta do something about this. This is working. And then Syria ignited, and I think you can see that on the news. And of course, we said we had nothing to do with it, but the areas that are spontaneously combusting in Syria are known to be Iran's areas, like weapons depot, military stuff. And they're trying to say Russia's doing it, but Russia and Iran are friends. So of course Russia's like, that's not us. We're not doing that. And why would they? Why would they drop kablooies on their friends? And then yesterday, the Pentagon comes out and says, well, yeah, okay, we did bomb this weapons depot here. That was an Iranian weapons depot. So, it looks like we started it, right? So just things like that are going on, but nothing major. And I think it's been quiet for 2 days. I don't think there's been any retaliation, or what did I say? Light strikes for 2 days. So we'll see. All right. And it could be because a lot of like Turkey's president flew over to Iraq. There's different people flying. Maybe they're like, hey, my plane's gonna be in the air. Could you not do that? Well, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so it's been busy, and then there's been political news, and Parliament's been meeting, but they haven't been getting much done because if they're not coming to blows, they're having uh, verbal altercations, right? So they haven't been getting anything done. All right. And so today, which is Wednesday, December 4th, it was on the schedule. It was on the schedule for them to read the second reading of the amendment to the budget, but they got a big surprise. And I'll tell you what that is. Uh, if you don't already know. But all right, so this came out today. Economic Center calls for a comprehensive review of banking operations in Iraq. So look at, oh, and I used, well, this is the picture they used, but look at all this dinar. And that's how they are in some places. Not all of them, but the ones where people go to get cash, that's what they do. And they'll get one band of that, or maybe a half, right? But, mm, 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 nice, right? Nice picture. So today was International Banking Day. Let's see. A comprehensive review of work of both government and private banks. Here's the director of the center, Wissam Helou. I don't know if that's how you say that, but he gave a statement and he said, yeah, we've been checking out the banks, and here's they found negative and fatal indicators. Let's see, but he does recognize that the Iraqi banks are linked to the global banking system. And then he just basically goes on to list the complaints, right? And the things. So here, dealing with the dealings resulting from some of the moods of employees working in the banking sector. And we have that over here too, don't we? You never know. Customer service nowadays is, right? Anyway, some of the complexities and routine and some of the favoritism witnessed. So they witnessed favoritism. Sometimes there's slowness in completing the transactions, but I want to read this part to you. Okay, so the guy, Wissam, he explained all these factors are the reason why most Iraqi citizens resort to saving their money at home. The lack of complete confidence in the banking system and the ambiguity regarding the interest rates on deposits and the percentage of loans and advances granted to employees and citizens, which also shows indications of some favoritism in issuing loans and advances through people from within banks or brokers who deal with the subject of advances and loans and exploit the citizen's need, deduct a bribe from the loan, or advance amount in exchange for obtaining it faster, or through devious means through secret coordination between some employees and some brokers. So they've witnessed that. They've witnessed bribes. Oh, you want this to go through tomorrow as opposed to next week? Okay, well, I'm going to need a little percentage of that, right? So they've witnessed that. They need to work on that. But they do say that they are developed, they are using modern banking programs, even artificial intelligence. So good and bad, but yeah, that happened. Okay, so these are articles from the past 3 days, and this is pretty good. It does not remain just attractive. Iraq wants to invest its money in projects abroad. So it sounds to me like they have found some excess money, uh, and because of the good diplomatic relations that the government of Mohammed Sadani has established with neighboring countries and the world, economic relations have also improved, noting that there are large internal external investments. So yeah, so I've never seen where the country is saying they want to invest in other countries. So they believe it could lead to a diverse financial return with the lack of non-oil revenues, right? So I thought, look at them, look at Iraq. All right. Now here, Visa launches tap to phone technology in Iraq. So in cooperation with the Moroccan Electronic Monetary Association. Whew, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? So I've been seeing this commercial. It's not on YouTube, and if I'll try to find it. But they're showing people that look to be under 40, and it appear to be shopping online, not so much on a computer, but maybe a laptop, maybe their cell phone, and they pull their wallet out and they pull a card out, and actually the card looks. Remember when Apple came out with that titanium card? It looks like it may be made out of metal like that. And they tap their phone or the device. So that the card, I guess the card has money or whatever on it. Or maybe they're at the point where they're making their purchase and they tap the card to the mobile device. So yeah, they're just moving them right along. So if you want to read that, also this is Visa launching right with that company. So yeah, it's a collaboration. It's a strategic collaboration in line with the commitment to enhance financial inclusion for small businesses by providing digital payment capabilities at a lower cost. So if it's not already here in America, watch it'll be here. But yeah, let's see. This was interesting. So for the month of October, amongst the Arab stock exchanges, Iraq performed the best. The ISX performed the best. So they have an article about that, recognizing them. And then also, all right. So here's another first for, well, the Central Bank of Iraq. The central bank signs memorandum of understanding, but in the article it says memorandum of cooperation to strengthen financial markets in Iraq. So it's Germany. It's a partnership with Germany and the EU, which what brings Iraq to them, right? And it says, thus, the central bank is the first Iraqi institution to sign a memorandum of cooperation with the Frankfurt School. All right, so now these are articles from November 3rd. And years ago, this article would have been very exciting. Minister of Finance confirms the government's keenness to implement reforms to ensure stability of the national economy. And this guy here, he works for the World Bank. And that's the finance minister, Miss Sammy. That's what I call her because I don't know how to say her first name. So that guy is the World Bank representative in Iraq. And there's his name, Jean-Christophe, and however you say his last name. But so it says, the finance minister stressed the Iraqi government's keenness to implement financial and economic reforms to ensure the stability of the national economy. It is working to implement these reforms with the aim of promoting sustainable growth, improving the management of financial resources, combating corruption, and strengthening transparency in government institutions. So, like I said, that would have been exciting back in the day, but we've heard it all before. All right, so here, this was the big surprise. Prime Minister in Parliament, secrets of the upcoming session. But that's just a sensational title. They didn't, well, they did film it. So for those of you who don't know, the Parliament sessions, in the Parliament Hall, there's already a camera. It's stationary. It's above. It looks over the whole hall. But then they bring in press, right? But this session was closed. They voted to hold it closed. But when I started this 2 hours ago, they were showing part of it on TV. So the parts that they wanted to show, they showed to the citizens. And I'm sure I'm sure there were sensitive things talked about because, like here, it says the development of the situation in Syria. Other things that we know later they put out He talked about the success of his government program, how the percentage of it that's been implemented. They went over a whole bunch of numbers, oil revenues, non-oil revenues, a whole bunch of stuff, right? So I'm hoping they went over the rate, right? I'm also hoping he went over telling them, do your job and vote on these amendments and don't manipulate them with your corrupt selves. I'm hoping he said that, but he probably didn't. And then I noticed he was hearing from some of the parliament members, and some of them had like written speeches, prepared remarks, I'll say. So I'm sure it was a good thing. I'm sure it was very positive for the country. Um, yeah, so, all right. Now, this is an interesting article. It says a big dilemma awaits Iraqi banking system. This is an economist, Mustafa Akram. He expects Iraq to enter into good economic phase with the arrival of the T-Man, but he indicated the banking system would face a major dilemma. He confirmed that Iraq responds to crises and lacks control and command. So he's saying they don't respond to crises well. But it's just because they don't have all the information. They don't know. Well, this is my belief. They know there's still corrupt people. There's still people who want to manipulate things. So I believe Sadani is holding the information real tight to him, right? And these economists are all, they have to have something to talk about. So they're probably going on saying, well, we don't see any way out of this, Even here, he says, yeah, you've done all this good stuff. Budget amendment's going to include new prices for Kurdish oil. Maybe that means a new rate, right? And next year, I know he says next year, but the decision on the Iraqi Dinar will be transferred to Jordan, and the central bank's agreement should be activated. But they're still cheating, and they're still talk, talk, talk. We see all this good talk, but no implementation. So I think that's what the dilemma would be. Okay. Major new IBBC report on ease of doing business in Iraq. And even though it says it outlines the challenges businesses face when trying to build in Iraq, and they would like them to foster a more business-friendly environment. So the full report is now available here. You can click there, but here's the bulletproof of it, right? So I do like this. They list 8 things to do, and the first 6 are done. Number 8 is currently being done, facilitate international trade. But I'm thinking maybe that might be a hint at the WTO, right? Maybe, maybe not. But look at number 7, adjust the exchange rate. Adopt a sustainable exchange rate that balances import competitiveness with local producer profitability. The stakes are high. Yes, they are. So then again, there's a link to the full report. So here's another one. The turning point, Iraq's leap into the digital economy. All right. So this is mostly about the digital transformation. Look, it's aimed at reducing the country's over-reliance on cash. Please. Their society is way older than ours, right? That's all they know is reliance on cash. And I read earlier that article I read to you where they talked about they're getting squeezed, Vito is over there in the corner saying, hey, come over here, John, I'll help you, but you're gonna have to pay me, right? Okay. I know I said Vito. There's no Vitos in Iraq, right? Okay. There is a link, but I don't see it here. It should be here. So I'll correct that. I'll put the link to the full report. But there's a nice bullet outline of it. All right. On the occasion of World Banking Day, a call for a comprehensive review of the work of banks in Iraq. So this is a second article kind of about the same things, but here they talk about, and there is an article specifically about the profit. 9 months of 2024, they've made 114 trillion dinars. All right, let's see. And then here they talk about the defect of the Iraqi economy is that it's rentier and depends mainly on oil, and that Iraq has not activated the customs tariff that contributes to raising financial revenues properly. So see, there's things they can fix, right? And they have not connected all the ports and border passings, I'm not saying it right, but you know what I mean. Because why? Lack of strong internet, lack of 24-hour electricity. Plus, they probably still want to steal, right? They're probably like, hey, don't go to that. Don't go to point A, go to point B, because that's not on the new system yet, right? But anyway, I don't know. But it's not like they're going to put that in. Well, some people would put that in writing. But anyway, okay, so here was the agenda for today, Wednesday. And look at the fourth item. Report and discussion of the second reading of the draft law, blah, 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 right? But like I said, it didn't happen because Sudani, not only was Sudani there, but he came late because they opened their international book fair, which I know you're like, a book fair? But it's a big deal. They've been doing the book fair for a long time. They even did it when ISIS was there, snatching up people, and you know what they did, you know what the ISIS people did, right? They still had that's how important it is. And he opened that and gave a speech and all of that. Then he went to Parliament. And I think I have some pictures of them. But so if you want to know what they talked about, at least what they're telling us they talked about, this article here, Sudani in Parliament, the economic file is on the agenda. See, so they did talk about it. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how much they're going to put out. I'm sure they're putting more out for their citizens to see than what I could see, right? But yeah, if I can find it on YouTube and translate it, I'll let you know. I'm gonna try. I'm nosy like that. But anyway, so if you could read this article, and this is the one with all the numbers and stuff, and you guys know I glaze over numbers. But yeah, so I'm going to read that. So here, Iraq's financial revenues exceed 114 trillion dinars in 9 months. And I guess they're putting it out because December they kind of shut down for December. All right, so you can read that if you like. Sudani with the ministers of planning. Yeah, here we go. Interior and foreign affairs in Parliament. So there's Sudani. Here's the foreign minister. I don't know who the other people are, and I'm guessing that guy there is there for protection. So there he is, strolling in. And he even tweeted, there's another tweet also. Prime Minister Sudani arrives at the House of Representatives. So, all right, let's see. So, now the Finance Committee. Oh, wait, this is the one to discuss. They want to, again, meet with the Finance Minister. The Finance Committee decides to host the Finance Minister, there's her name, Miss Sammy, to complete the amendment of the budget law. Woohoo! So you can read that if you like. It again talks about the changes they're willing to tell us they've made, the transportation costs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's there. And let's see, what's this one? Parliament. Oh yeah, so they said, well, we didn't get to vote, but we're going to carry it over to tomorrow. Well, it says, and the coming days. Tomorrow and the coming days, which, we don't like that. And look at this. U.S. sanctions 35 entities, ships transporting Iranian oil to foreign markets. Who did that? Because our current on the book president is in Angola, right? Angola, somewhere in Africa. And the T-Man isn't officially the president. So who did it? The United States Treasury, the Treasury Department. But remember, they're the ones that are over OFAC. And I forget what OFAC means, but the Treasury is the one that's over OFAC. So it makes sense that this announcement comes from them. And this particular, one of the new things is they're saying that Iranian oil is hitting the market marked as Iraqi oil. And then it's being, exported wherever it's going. So that's who they put sanctions on, among other people. So here's the new agenda for tomorrow, Thursday. And the third thing on the agenda is report and discussion of the second reading of the draft law amending the budget, the 3-year budget. So we'll see. We'll see if it happens. All right, we're almost done. These next, maybe, I think this is the last of the articles. They're all dealing with the limited strikes that are violations of the ceasefire. Let's see. Yep. So if you want to read those articles, they are provided for you. Yes. And so everyone knows that, well, I don't know, maybe you don't know. You know that the T-Man told basically the BRICS nations, you thinking about leaving the dollar? I don't think so, right? And then also he said, if the hostages are not, here we go. Here it is. The T-Man threatens the Middle East with HELL and a strike unprecedented in history. If not released, if the hostages in Gaza are not released before the 20th of next month, there will be stuff to pay. So that's, if you haven't heard that, I mean, it's like everywhere. Lots of people are freaking out. But yeah, so that's where we are. We're good. Iraq is good. Iraq has managed to stay out of, nothing's been kablooied, right? It's been peaceful and safe, and the people have been out. It was cold. It even snowed in some parts, so they were out enjoying the cold. Yeah, so things are good in Iraq. It's just all the other stuff going around. And like, I don't know if you saw, the French government exploded today, right? They put in a vote of no confidence. Canada is having issues, right? So there's just a lot. There's a lot of things in flux, which causes uncertainty, which can cause stress, but don't stress out. Don't stress out. Live your life. No, my favorite book that I read says a wise man sees trouble coming and gets prepared, right? That's all you can do. But worrying does not help. It just makes you sick, right? All right, so that's enough of me. Thank you for listening. I may be post tomorrow if there's a reason. If we get printouts of things that were said in the Parliament session by Sadani, I'll post those. And yeah, so thank you for listening. I hope this helps you. That's all I'm trying to do, is help people stay in this and not lose your mind. And I'm noticing some of the Twitter pumpers are having to calm down their rhetoric. They're using a little less flames and a little less alarm emojis. because people are starting to say, hey, you're blowing this out. They're saying this and you're making it seem like this. And that's what needs to be done. Things are good. Things are good. So we can't, when you over exaggerate, that's when the possibility of a letdown can happen. So, all right. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any bills and pay all your bills. Wherever you're listening, if there's a like, join, follow, subscribe type of button, click that, or whatever action is needed to activate that. And I thank you. Thank you, listeners, commenters. Oh, and you guys know this. No more chirp, chirp, right? But now there's a dog that could bark, right? But I think people like dogs barking more than that annoying chirp. So, all right. And it's only, oh no, it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. So we're almost through this week. All right. Thank you. Until next time.